Okay, peace to the family. 747 24/7 361 degrees. Cool. How y'all feeling today? Allow me to do some shares and invites. Hopefully you can hear me clearly. What's going on? Peace to the family. Once again, thank you for everybody that supports the movement. All right. Okay. If you in the place to be, state your name, put it in the comment section. If you in the YouTube, give us a thumbs up. If you in the Facebook, give us a like or a heart or I care about something. All right. I really appreciate everyone that supports the movement. All right. I really appreciate everyone. All right. Just give me a couple seconds to set up the video. I really have something powerful to talk about today. What is the Messiah Code? Shout out to Sister Kanafir, Grandma Ab Kanafir. I love you. Peace to Sister Akua. Thank you for everybody in the Facebook. Thank you for everybody in the YouTube. Like I said, if you can hear me clear, just give me a thumbs up or yes, I can hear you clearly. All right. Give me a chance to really set this off. I really appreciate everyone that supports. As you know, I just had a new child that just came into this world, a new son. My son, Lamel Messiah. Shout out to my son. Shout out to his mother, Queen Zola Lamel. Thank you for holding me up, down, left, and right, Queen. Appreciate you. All right. Give me 1 second, y'all. All right. Let's see if we can set this up. All right. So oh, the Cash App. Thank you, Queen. Let me change this up a little bit so we can kind of see it a little better. We'll do it like that so we can see it a little better. All right. Peace to Sister Yvonne. Peace. All right. The Cash App is actually the Walu. If you want to know what the Cash App is, thank you. I'll put that in the comment section. Thank you, Sister Kanafir. All right. It's real simple. It's the Walu. All right. So let me share my screen. Today we're gonna what is the Messiah Code? All right. Part of me, I don't have no music playing or anything like that. We just chilling, and we're going to build on the science. Thank you for everybody sharing the videos. I appreciate everybody coming in as well, in the YouTube as well as the Facebook. All right. So okay, I just wanted to share it a little bit, and I'll be ready for y'all. That's crazy. Okay, so here we go. All right, what is the Messiah code? Pardon me if I can do this a little bit for y'all. Hopefully you can see it. Y'all can see it a little bit better. Peace. Peace to everybody coming in. State your name, put it in the comment section if you are relevant. Also, share the video. I appreciate it. All right. So the question is, what is the Messiah code? What is the Messiah code? All right. So I got y'all. We're about to just talk about it real quick. The first thing we should ask, if we talk about the Messiah code, what is a Messiah? All right. What is a Messiah? Peace to everybody coming in. I love y'all. Share the video. If you in the YouTube, also subscribe. Please subscribe to the YouTube, which is the Messiah code. Or you can put up the Messiah code with the MeWe. All right. I appreciate everybody. All right. So what is a Messiah? That's the first question that we're gonna ask. All right. Let's go. So I don't know if y'all can see that, but we'll see if I can make it a little bit bigger so y'all can see it. But what it says in here is that I'm going to put it in the comment section. A Messiah is a promised deliverer of a Jewish nation prophesied in the Hebrew Bible. All right. We don't subscribe to that. We don't subscribe to that first definition of what they consider to be a Messiah, because this is the same reason why they put the white Jesus on the wall. I'm gonna keep it real with you. When you look at this first definition of Messiah, and I put it in the comment section for everybody in the Facebook. This is the hey, peace, Queen Cecilia. This is the same reason that they replaced the Messiah and put the white Jesus on the wall. All right, of various different sorts. Okay, but the Messiah was a universal principle in general. Okay, it says a leader. If you look at the second meaning of Messiah, it says a leader or a savior of a particular group or a cause. All right, y'all get that? So this was one point that I wanted to share with y'all as being part of the Messiah code. Y'all should gravitate towards as being leaders, you know, in your designated section of the world. Okay, or your designated section and purpose of purpose. All right. So now we'll move forward. Where are we at? So a leader, a Messiah is a leader, savior of a particular group or a cause. Thank you for everybody coming in. Share the video. If you in the YouTube, give me a thumbs up. I appreciate it. All right. So this is what we subscribe to as the Messiah code. All right. These are our teachings. This is what we share amongst the community. You know, we invoke leadership. Let's move forward. So the Messiah code is also, shout out to Sadai Sosa in the building. The Messiah Code, let me say this. We call this a movement as well. This is called the Messiah Code movement. Now, why would you call this group of people or whatever, why would you call your idea that whatever y'all roll with, why would y'all call it a movement in particular? All right, this is why we call our idea of how we conjugate together as a community, or congregate, my fault, together as a community. Listen, here we go. It says this, a movement. What's the meaning of movement? If you go to the third sense of movement, it says this, a group of people working together to advance their shared political, social, or artistic ideas. All right. This is what we represent. We are a movement. And that coincides with the fact that we are messiahs as well. Because if you say, we are the Messiah Code movement, and the Messiah is a leader or savior of a particular group or a cause, but then you go to the meaning of movement. Movement is a group of people working together to advance their shared political, social, or artistic ideas. None of that has to do with God. That's the thing about this. All right. None of it has to do with God at all. If you notice, this has no concept of telling you to worship a God in particular. Now, you're going to have to find that higher power within. We know that. All right. But these are the tools within the Messiah Code to strengthen your position within your your um your want or craving to be better. Now, hear me out. Now, I'm gonna read this for y'all. See if I can put this. I also put this in the comment section. This is the first 3 verses of the memorandum that when you read all the books of the Messiah Code movement, you read you read the 131 memorandum, right? You read the 131 memorandum, but what's so deep about the 131 memorandum is this. I'm gonna tell y'all. The 131 gives you an actual idea of what this is truly about when you read the memorandum. All right. Shout out to everybody coming in. I really appreciate it. Share the video. Peace to everybody in the YouTube. Peace to everybody in the Facebook. But what it says is this, right? It says the Messiah Code is an archive of information that is and has been and will be moving throughout the mainframe for an eternity of what we call time and space. Verse 2, the greater consciousness of thought, the hard drive of self awareness. How can I explain what the codex is? Verse 3, a combination of all matter and antimatter. In fact, in actuality, you can consider it a combination of all things. We call this the network, the tone of the universe. All right. So that's something that when you read in each and every book that's associated with the movement, or, you know, learning what the Messiah Code is all about, you're going to read this 131 memorandum, and in the first 3 verses, this is what it talks about. So we're going to break down that a little bit, and we're going to give a grand idea of how we should move in this. Now, if we coming in this, you might say, well, what's your Godhead? And I say, well, it's no Godhead of choice. Like, for instance, if you get down with the Messiah Code movement, right? And you say, well, what God we gonna worship, Lamel? And I say, well, what God you want to worship? Okay. This is what this is all about. You might ask also, well, what is the Bible of choice for your particular spirituality of the Messiah Code? And I got you on that one as well. All right. What is our Bible? What is our holy book for the Messiah Code movement. Our holy book for the Messiah Code movement is the Bible. Now you might say, the Bible? Oh my God, Lamel, yo, you are bugging. Somebody throw some bombs off, drop it. The Bible. Okay. Now, not the Bible what you think the Bible is. First, let's break down Bible and what is Bible. All right, because the total drop on this, or what you're going to know is that when you read the Messiah Code movement, when you read the Messiah Code 131 memorandum, it says this. It says the Messiah Code is an archive of information that is and has been and will be moving throughout the mainframe for an eternity of what we call time and space. So that would be the Bible in particular. But now, what Bible, Lamel? Because it's many Bibles. A Bible is a coined word. All right. This word was actually coined when they created the so-called Bible or Bible. All right. This word was actually coined. But a Bible represent a book of authority. All right. Over anything. It can be over food, over kickball, over football. It's a Bible of football. It's a Bible of basketball. It's a Bible of like the LaRue's gastronomy, which is the French book of cooking, which is a Bible in particular. All right. So now that's when I'm telling you that the Bible is actually our book of choice. Now, listen, when you break it down, when you break down the Messiah Code, the first verse, it says it's an archive. Archive. Now, a Bible again is, I think I showed y'all this. I don't know if I showed y'all, but a Bible is regarded as an authoritative in a particular sphere of thought. A book regarded as authoritative in a particular sphere of thought. Okay, that's what a Bible is. Now, moving forward, you'll see the etymology of Bible, which is tabiblia. Tabiblia, which is basically a place. It ends up being a place. Tabiblia, traced to the Phoenician port city of Gebel, known as Byblos. Now, if you think about this, this is a port. Tabiblia. Tabilia. Phoenician is one of the many roots of many languages. All right. Phonetics. That's where you get the word phonetics from, Phoenicia. All right. Think about it. Now you at Tabiblia, which is a document or a docking port. A docking port. All right. So this is all relative. This is why I said we are cracking the code. Hear me out. Now, Byblos was the ancient Phoenician port city of Gebel, called Byblos by the Greeks, on the coast of the Mediterranean Sea in what is today Lebanon. Byblos is among the cities listed as candidates for the distinction of the oldest city in the world. All right, as it has been continuously inhabited for over 7,000 years. Now, you might ask, well, why is this relative to the narrative or thought of where we're going with this? All right, this showing you, giving you an idea where this place is. All right, because this is one of the many places where the archives were kept, or where the Biblos or Bible was, or the Bibles were kept. All right, because it's one of the oldest inhabited cities, a port city as well. So if you have a port city, you have various different cultures and customs coming through that city, And as well, if you think about the name Biblos, it generates the idea of choice of how we um consolidate the word and the spirituality. All right. So now you got archive, right? So archive is what? A collection of historical documents or records providing information about a place, institution, or a group of people. All right? That's what an archive is. So what is what would be the pages of our Bible? It would be the archive. It would be the archive. Now, what is the archive? The archive is generated reality. Whatever we can associate and generate as reality itself, whatever we can log as reality is a part of the archive. It doesn't matter. You consider good or bad. And they're figuring out ways to actually, they're figuring out ways to actually archive reality itself. All right. So that's what it's all about. That's what the Matrix is all about. And that's what life itself is all about, as much as we can archive. The problem is this: people decide to, thank you. Thank you, Cosmo Kid. I appreciate you. Please make sure you subscribe to the channel. Thank you. So look at this. They're figuring out ways to log reality in any type of way. They're figuring it out. So, like I said, you might ask, well, what are the pages of our Bible? The pages of our Bible is the archive. And that's why when you read in the Messiah Code Memorandum, it says this. It said that Messiah Code is an archive of information that is and has been and will be moving throughout the mainframe for an eternity of what we call time and space. That's why you read in the first verse it said that. Thank you for everybody coming in. Please make sure that you share, give a thumbs up if you're in the YouTube, give a like if you're in the Facebook, share the video. I appreciate it. Thank you. All right. So let me proceed forward and get and educate you what the Messiah Code is all about. Because people are looking for something now. Because if you think about it, we're at a point where we're deciding whether we dismiss the teachings or the teacher. Think about it. We're at this point of spirituality where, you know, the so-called teachers or leaders that have been regarded to us, they're not what we thought they was. But the teachings were so relevant for the time and space that it was in, and also it's relevant for the time and space that we in right now. We can use various different maxims of those teachings to move forward in our success. All right. So thank you. Shout out to everybody coming in. Peace to all the all stars. Thank you. Share the video. Okay, so it's an archive. Now let's break this stuff down. Let's break this stuff down. I explained to people before. I said we are living in a book. Whether you know it or not, we're living in a book. Now, it's easy for me to say that we're living in a book because I would rather say that we're living in a rectangular prism. You might say, wow, what is that? I just rather keep it simplified, say that we're living in a book. How is Lamel? My son is actually doing very well. He is doing very well. He is being breastfed. He is um you know, his mom is doing a great job. I'm gonna tell you that she's doing such a great job. Breastfeeding is so beautiful. The connection. I love it. I really love the connection. Thank you for asking, Sister LaUnc. I appreciate it. All right. Yeah. Let me go back. So we're going back to this place of Biblos. Well, what is a Biblos? What is a Bible? A Bible, again, is a book of authority. Let's see if I can find it. A Bible is a book of authority, a book regarded as authoritative of a particular sphere. All right, back again. Now, let's go back to the Messiah Code and what this Messiah Code thing is all about, because this is gonna crack your head. Shout out to Healing Shadows in the building. Look at this. This is going to crack your head, but this is going to crack their head. This right here is the face of the Messiah. You say, for real, Lamel? This right here is the face of the Messiah. Now, I have shown you the body of the Messiah, but somebody asked me, well, what does the face of the Messiah look like if he or she has a body? And this is what the face of the Messiah looks like. All right. And this is going to go really hard. Thank you. I appreciate it, Cosmic Kid. I appreciate it. Please take notes on this lesson. Everybody here, please take notes on this lesson. This is one of the most important lessons that you should know. Just sharing the Messiah Code information. Okay. So now let's move forward. If you see this face, right, what you see is you see a square, you see a triangle, and you see a circle. Okay, boom. Now you see an eye on one. You see an eye on one in the middle of a circle, but where you see the square, you see a word that says the map. I want you to consider that square to also be a eye, an eye as well. All right, it represents an open eye. Let me show y'all what I'm talking about. Like if you take a square like this, the square like this, the square like this would represent a closed eye. But the square like this would represent the open eye. Y'all see that? The square like this represents the closed eye, and the square like this represents the open eye. This is secret. This is secret to this stuff. And it's symbolism and everything. You gonna say, for real? If this isn't divine revelation, then why can't I why am I able to break this stuff down the way I am? Who gave this to you? This is in the codex. This information is in the codex. Watch this. All this symbolism. All this symbolism. It's in the codex. It's what links everything together. All right. So now, because you got to have a form of Fortecan, which is critition. All right. Being able to differentiate between right and wrong, but being able to take different parts of the scriptures and events and mix them together and make sense of it as well. All right. So that's what this map is about right there. It is it looks like a diamond. Okay. And then you got the triangle right there. Let's bust that down. You got the triangle down. Man, you got the triangle, okay? And this triangle is going to go deep too, because the triangle is defined by 16 bits. 16 bits. All right? It has a base. It has a base of 24 hours. All right. So you might say, well, why is this? Why are you putting these images with time and stuff like that? And then I put the circle. It has 120 degrees to it. It is 120. Even though the circle has 361 degrees, it is actually 120 degrees of information. Now you might say, why is one eye 120 degrees of information? You get it? Because it's 120. If you got two eyes together, you got 20/20. So one eye would be 120. It would be 120. It would be 120. So that'd be 120 degrees. And then you got the other eye, which would be another 120 degrees, which is the eye of the map, and then you got the eye of the nose, which would be another 120 degrees, and put the dot in the middle, you got 361 degrees. So that's why I said you got 120. Let me put that in the comment section. You got 1 over, you got, hold up, 1 over 20. It's not 120 how you thought it was. It was actually 1 over 20. Like, damn, for real, it was 1 over 20. 120 though. So you can get it. 120, or the 120 degrees of information or lessons that one needs to study in some form of fashion. All right. But why is this important? And what does this is why is this symbolic in life in general? All right. Because as you move forward, what you see is that the triangle is connected to what you know as your nose. This is the 120, 120, 120. That's the triangle. It goes back to the triangle, which is the pyramid. I gave you 120 on the circle. I gave you 120 on the square, and then I said that the triangle is 120. But when you put those images together, they still equal a triangle. Somebody get me. That image is, look, they still equal a triangle. All right. So that's why the triangle is important, because the grand image that sits in the middle of those two images is the triangle. Now the triangle is connected to what you knows, what you knows. Now somebody made a fool of me when I actually said this word. They when I made this synonymous, and I said, well, what you knows is connected to your nose. All right. I said what you knows is connected to your nose. Remember that. Now somebody, like I said, somebody made was like made a comment and was like, yo, I said this on another station, another channel, said what you knows. And they was like, man, that's crazy for you to just um associate nose and nose together. All right. But I want you to know the ledge. All right, which is receive the knowledge. And knowledge is the foundation of all things, a clear and certain perception of information learned by one's ability of looking, listening, and observing. And you can study that in the codex. All right. Now, busting this stuff down, sharing this stuff with y'all. Thank you for everybody supporting. Thank you for everybody in the YouTube. Thank you for everybody in the Facebook. I appreciate it. All right. Sharing this degree of thought, I'm gonna move forward. Sharing this degree of thought. You got, so since I gave you the 120 degrees, which is the two eyes, right? And also the nose. Look at this. These represent congruent angles, or congruent angles. Now, what is congruent? Let's put this in so y'all can see it. Congruent is in agreement or harmony. All right. In geometry, is identical in form, coinciding exactly when superimposed. Superimposed. Do y'all get this? This is deep stuff. This is deep stuff, because the way that you want to react with someone in your life is in a congruent way, in agreement or harmony, identical in form, coinciding exactly when superimposed. When situations and hard events happen, guess what? You can form into each other. Like, I be the water and you be the container, or listen, or whatever it is, we're the opposite, but we're complementing one another. And that's what this is all about. All right, when you break it down. Okay. So now what you know, or what you knows, is very important to this information in the triangle as well. All right. So the 120, which is the triangle, right? The 120, 120 degrees, 120, 120, 120. This is your nose. It's a wide nose. The wide nose represents to breathe, to take in the breath of life, to take in one's breath of life. That's why it looks like a wide nose or a pyramid as well. All right. Everything is based upon perceived reality. Everything. All right. The way you see it, the way you feel it, the way you touch it, the way you smell it, the way you inherit the thought of reality. Everything is based upon perceived reality. And that's why when we measure our circle, we don't measure the circle like how other people measure circles with 360 degrees. We measure circles with 361 degrees. Moving forward. So master your square. Like I said, the square is an eye. The square is an eye. The square is an eye. It's a map. It's a form of map that you utilize to navigate within a reality that you dwell in. All right. It's another eye. Now, breaking this stuff down, this all goes back to the 131. You might say, well, why is that? Because all three are one: the blood, spirit, and water. All three in one: past, present, and future. All three in one: man, woman, and child. All three in one. All three are one. Now, this is also principle with being on your five, the fifth element, which is you got the air, you got fire, air, water, earth, and you have also flesh, which is Shu Awutala, which also deals with the principle of five. Now, five is a synonymous number with E or G. Why would you say that? Because the five, if you notice, the five is sacred geometry. The five is the circle in the square. If you look at the number five, it is the circle in the square. And this also, like I said, connects up with what you knows. Now, what's so deep about this is if you do the math, and I'm going to freestyle this a little bit. I'm going to freestyle this a little bit so y'all can kind of see this. If you do the math, right? Um, if you do the math, let's say you got uh you got 20, right? I said you had 120 on your eye. Let me see this. So I can blow this up so y'all can see it a little bit better. Pardon me. Remember, I told y'all that we gotta do supreme mathematics, grandmother and grandfather mathematics here. All right, for everybody. So look, you had 120. All right, 120. Now I told y'all you had to be on your square. You had to master your square. You master your square. Remember that. Remember we bought that because the square is your eyes open. And we turned the square a different way. We changed it from being boxed in and we made you a diamond. We changed, look, listen, we changed the square from being boxed in and we made you a diamond because you have inner sight. Now, watch this. Watch how it breaks down. Now, again, that represents 120 degrees or 120. Remember the triangle because that's two congruent, or you got the congruent angles, which is 120, the two eyes. All right. And then you got the triangle sitting in the middle of the two eyes. Okay. So the two eyes represent the two congruent angles of 120 degrees. So 120 degrees is 20. 20 times or 120 times itself equals what? Come on, man. Equals 400. It equals, watch this. Watch the supreme math on this. It equals 400. All right. It equals 400. So then what you would do is the base, again, the base, if you notice when I showed you this image based upon what you knows, I gave you 120, but I also gave you the number 12. Come on, watch this. Man, come on. This is real. This is real Codex magic. Watch it. Yo, I gave you two look at this. Man, watch this. Look. I gave you 120, right? 20 times 20 is 400. Watch the math. Watch the math on this. But I gave you two 12s, right? So the two 12s represent your base because your base, the base of the object, represent the 12 hours a day and the 12 hours a night, right? Am I right or wrong? This is your perceived reality. Didn't I say this? Look at this. So I said you had 120, 120, but the 120 represented the 2020 vision. All right. But this is also connected up with the 12 hours a day and the 12 hours a night. All right. Night and day. Boom. So now what you would do, yeah, let's get it. Watch this. Watch this. Listen. So now what you see is this. Watch how it breaks down. So now that your base is 24, you know your 24 hours is your base, or your 12 zodiac signs, or your 12 disciples, or your 24 hours, or your 24 elders, your 24 hours or elders. All right. Yeah. Now watch this. Now, as it breaks down, what you'll do is this. What you'll do is this. You'll take the 12, you'll take the number 12 times itself as well, because you have to times itself, which is the square. All right. And 12 times 12 equals 144. Right? Am I right or wrong? So 12 times 12 equals 144. Okay. So now, what's so deep about this number is this. What's so deep about this number is this. 12 times 12 is 144. What you would do is this, because you know the base of the object is your 24 hours that you live, and you have the 120 or the 1 or 2020 sight, all right, which is spiritual and physical, all right, because the circle represents the spiritual and the square represents the physical. All right. Remember, I told you that they had you boxed in, but you changed the box and you actually changed the box into what is considered to be a diamond. Yeah, because you was boxed in, you was under pressure, you was boxed in. So what you did was the potential and you came out, sprung out, and you became a diamond. All right. So now, like I said, breaking this stuff down, what you see is the 120, which is your 12, 12, boom, boom, boom. What you see is it adds up to what? Or when you subtract it, excuse me, you subtract it, what do you get? You get 256. 256. All right. And this is where we're going to get deep. This is where we're going to get deep because in order to define the height of the object, hear me out. Listen to me. In order to find the height of this object or what you knows, listen, or what you knows. Remember, I started this with what you knows because this image resembles a nose, a wide nose that's breathing in spirituality, breathing in air, all right, or the pyramid, the fire in the middle, all right. So how you define the height of the object, what you get is this, is 256. So 16 square is 256. So you end up with the height of the object being 16. All right. So you might say, well, why is this relevant and why is 256 and 16 relevant in here? Oh, man. Man, we wouldn't be on the internet if it wasn't for the number of 256. I'm gonna tell you that because everyone here, 9 times out of 10, you're utilizing a protocol called IPv version 4. IPv version 4, basically, you have it's a combination of 16 of the number 16 times itself, which is 256, which is the most probable number that you have within an IP address. For instance, like if y'all look at y'all IP address, you go on your phone, you go find out your IP address, and which is rented. And I'm gonna tell you because as of 2011, or if I'm misquoting this, just let me know. But listen, they didn't have, even before that, they didn't have any more IP uh IPv4 addresses. They just leased them out. So in order to get on the internet, y'all had to pay to play. Hear me out. Y'all had to pay to play. So they came up in the year 2012 with an IPv version 6, which is actually created before then, but they actually came out with a version of IPv version 6. Guess when they came out with it? It'll spook your mind out. They came out with it June 6th, 2012. It sounds familiar, like y'all was all wondering about the end of the world in 2012. Di- didn't understand that it was the end of the age of information, in a sense of an upgrade was taking place in 2012, June 6th, which was IPv version 6. And y'all came out of the 4. All right. The four, each one of y'all have rented least rented IPv4 addresses in order to get on the internet. So this is relevant to where I'm about to go with this, because how do you define your reality? You define your reality through the height of 16. Now, 16 is a sacred number that also connects up with the number Jupiter or Jupiter. But I also brought you to the 5. I took you to the number 5 when I was talking on here. Besides the point of showing y'all this, that to define the height, we're connecting up with Jupiter. All right. So Jupiter has another energy. It has a higher form of energy than what you think it has. You say, now you're getting real spooky. Well, the fifth planet so happens to be what? Or the fifth position so happens to be Jupiter. All right, which is the pinnacle or the pentagram, the pinnacle, the pentagram. All right, the pinnacle. But the number 5 also connects up with E, which is the fifth letter, E or energy, but also connects up with G, because if you go on a musical scale, they are actually synonymous. E and G, they are synonymous. All right. So I just wanted to show y'all just various different ways on how the grid connects up with these sacred geometry, with the sacred geometry, as far as the shapes and the concept of what is the reasoning why these shapes coincide with each other. All right. So I wanted this is what I wanted to share with y'all as well, right? Um the olfactory bulb, olfactory bulb, which is the basically it's like it's in your nose. Okay. Now I wanted to talk about this, and somebody said, well, what you knows or what you know isn't relevant to the conversation, or your nose isn't relevant, or the triangle, the pyramid, which is your nose, isn't relevant to the conversation. Have you ever been, I just want to question the audience, have you ever been in a place where you smelled something and then you remembered something? Just let me know, yes or no. Have you ever been in a certain place where you smelled something and then you remembered it as well? You remembered a time or something that happened in your mind? Yes. I got one yes. Yes. I got another yes. Thank you. Your nose is associated with memory. Your nose connects your mind with memory in some form of way. What you know. That's why I said you know the ledge. You know the ledge or get the knowledge. Know the ledge, you know, because these are codes. These are things that we are gathering together in order. I'm gonna say these are. I'm gonna say it like this. These are pieces that we're grabbing together. Pieces to gain our greater peace. You hear me? So the Jupiter is important because Jupiter is our sin or our center. All right, Jupiter is our sin or our center. And the way I was explaining that with far as the variation of the number 16 in connection with your IP address, listen, it's 0 through 255. 0 through 255. So that's 256 possibilities. All right. If you look at your IP address, it doesn't matter with the subnet mask or whatever it is, it's still a variation of the number 16 times itself. All right. So that was important because the number 16 again connects up with Jupiter as a power piece. And then not only this, I wanted to show y'all um when I was sharing this information with y'all, the base of this object is 24. The 24 is the 24 hours or the 24 elders. The 24 elders, the 24 hours or the 24 elders is at the base of the object, is at your base of your awareness. Now, I compared two congruent angles of 120 and found the height of this object to be 16. All right. This is code cracked because, again, we use the number 12 because the two 12s or the 120 was in there without the zero. And that represented the 24 hours or the 24 elders. Now, in the Messiah code, let me move forward with this. Yo, peace to everybody. Look, in the Messiah code, study your lessons. Study your lessons. That's all I got to say. I know you got a lot of stuff going on in life. All right. Whatever you study in spirituality, you utilize the Messiah code as more or less a way to more to understand or understand or solar stand or overstand any information a little bit better. I'm gonna say it like that. Now we have a calendar. We have come into the new age of what we call information. As of March 1st, 2017 of the Gregorian calendar, we have come into a new age which we call Ta Noon. Y'all call it Aquarius. All right. Now today's date in the codex is 2/13/26. Now the number is significant because I might ask you to crack the code on that number. Give me the code of this number right here. If I gave you today's date, just sharing information with y'all, how would y'all crack the code? If I gave y'all a date of 2/13/26, how would you see that number, yo? How would you see this number? 2/13/26. How would you actually see it? How would you see that number? 2/13/26. All right. I'm gonna show y'all how y'all see the number because it's very easy. That is a real date. That date is an actual real date. This is logged in a date. We are in the second month. It's 14 months. All right. We're in the 13th moon day and would be the 26th world day. All right. So now how you would break that down is the second month deals with self. This is the 28 days of dealing and working on self, being preserved into yourself in some sort of way and working on self. It might reflect on that right now. working on self, the things that you need to do with self. All right. And then you got 13, and number 13 represent mastery or master or mother. Okay. And then you got 26, and 26 represents the key maker or the letter Z or zigzag. Okay. So I'll break that down and define that in some form of way for everybody so we can kind of get a little understanding on this. But when you think of, let me see if when you think of the second month, I want y'all to think of a couple things. I want you to think of the shin, which is the body part that it guards. But I want y'all to also think of this, which is the lessons in the codex, because two is nazuf, two, which is negative and positive. That's yourself, nazuf. All right, which represents self. All right, which is B, born, any mental thought coming into reality through a material substance. That's the acronym of thought when you go to the letter, all right, the second beat, which is B. All right. So then what you would do is move forward and you would say, well, let me build on the next concept of the day because, I ask you, what is today's date in the codex? Or I might ask you, what's today's mathematics? When I ask you that, I don't ask you what's today's date in the Gregorian calendar. I ask you what's today's date in the calendar of the codex. All right. So these are lessons of the Messiah Code I'm sharing with y'all. You might ask me what we teach or what we share. All right. So today is the moon day, the middle path. The middle path, you'll work on a triangle. Now, the first beat was the square. The first beat was the square, was your map. Your map is yourself. You're working on yourself. All right. Then what you do is you got the second beat, which is in the middle, or you can say preferred as the third beat, but it's the second beat because zero is a beat as well. Look, listen, the second beat is mastery. So a master is the creator, the originator, or adept student. The adept student who reaches the highest point of a particular subject matter where he or she must then innovate the craft. Hopefully somebody got that. I put it in the comment section for everyone so y'all have it. All right. Thank you. Listen. So the middle path would be mastery. So mastery is the creator. It can be the creator or the originator. The originator. The creator or the originator. Whoever created it, whoever originated. Or the adept student is a master who reaches the highest point of a particular subject matter where he or she must then innovate the craft. If y'all hear what I'm saying, they must then innovate the craft after, after they then mastered it to the highest point. When they get who the adept student who reaches the highest point of a particular subject matter where he or she must then innovate the craft. That's what a master is. And when you think about the 13th principle in the Messiah Code or the 13th day or the number 13, I want you to think about the mother or master. I want y'all to think about that as an acronym of thought. Now you can place any other word or choice long as it has a positive affirmation and not a negative connotation. All right, you can place any word, but make sure you can define what the word means. All right. But if I say master, I'm saying we're not going to get it twisted. I'm saying a master is the originator, the creator, the originator, or the adept student who reaches the highest point of a particular subject matter where he or she must then innovate the craft. You know what I'm saying? It's in the lessons. Shout out to the family. Now we'll go to the next beat of this. The next beat would be the next beat would be 26. All right. So, you know, it's another thing that I wanted to tell you what was so significant about this 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 codex of today, why today is important. All right, so the letter Z is the North and the South Pole. Seven God being man and seven God being woman. The North and the South Pole. You say, well, why is zigzag? What do you mean, man and woman? Zigzag. It's seven being the North Pole, and then you got seven being the South Pole. All right. It's very easy because when you look at the letter Z, it's two sevens. It's just one inside out, one outside in, like man and woman. All right. So that's what the letter Z is, the two sevens. The two sevens, the principle of seven. You might say, well, what stratosphere of thought is that? Now, we already coincided the seven principles that connect with this. All right. Which is the 7 days, which you got the mental, which is the mind. Then you got correspondence, as above, so below. All right. Then you got vibration. Then you got polarity. Then you got rhythm. Then you got cause and effect. And then you got gender. So those are the seven principles that are layered upon the thought of man and woman. All right. Let's go. Get on your seven once again. All right. So that's what the zigzag is all about. But I'm gonna give you something special on here. If you look at the numbers that I gave you today for what's today's date, two, it is two, what? 13, right? 26. Is it not? Is it today's date in the codex? I told y'all it's 2/13/26. Let's do the math. Let's do the math on here. Today's date is 2/13/26. Yo, man, you see the code. 2 times 13 equals 26. Wow. Wow, we done it again. We didn't crack the code again. Two, you for real? Oh man. Yo, yo, 2 times 13 equals 26. All right. So let me tell you what's so deep about 26. The 26 number is significant because the 26 represents the 26,000 year procession. All right. You got 2,160 years each age. All right. And we have come into the new one, which is Tanun or information. Okay. So now you got 26,000 years within the procession. That 26 represent the letter Z's, which is the sound of the keys. All right. Which is the sound of the keys. It's the vibration of the keys. It's the keys being vibrated or created. It's the key of life being created. All right. For each and every person, that's the 26,000 years of procession. Another code that's cracked. All right. But the letter Z's was also connected up with how a person was asleep and how they needed the key to unlock their sleep. They needed the key maker as well, but they always lock up the key maker, as you see in the Matrix movie. They always lock up the key maker. And look at a lot of our leaders been locked up and they threw away the key. All right. So yeah, the number 26, Z's. All right. It's the keys. That's what it represented. The key maker. And that's why when you look in the codex, when you look at the codex, you look at the key maker. I'm gonna show you what the key maker looks like. Let's see if I can show you all this. I'm gonna see if I can show you. Let me see. If you look at the letter of the key maker, I'm gonna try to draw it for y'all. Please bear with me real quick. All right. Um, you got the key maker, right? Oh, stuff. I want to show y'all something. I want to show y'all something real quick. I'm sorry. I'm gonna try to draw something. If you ever look at in the Messiah Code, you'll see an image that looks like this, for lack of better words. Damn. Let me see if I can do it. It's like this. And you saw this image before. You usually see this image like, and I'm gonna show you another way. The way it looks. You'll see an image like this. I've got to make this thicker for y'all. I'm sorry. I'm sorry for everybody that can't see this. Uh, just me doing it off the fly is kind of really messing me up a little bit. Um, Peace to the President, Jasmine, Jazzy Fresh in the building. Peace to the Queen. I see you in the building. Um, let me share my screen. I gotta share another screen with y'all. Sorry. Let me show y'all another what it looks like. All right, boom. Here we go. What's up, y'all? Shout out to everybody coming in the building 747-24/7. State your name, put it in the comment section. Also, share the video. Put some comment section, uh, something in the comment section. I would love to hear what you got to say about this information. All right. So if you see, I wanted to show you the key maker. It's called the key maker right there. It's a book. You see what it looks like? I showed you the image another way. I showed you the image in another way. I showed you with it turned. The reason why I showed you with it turned and looking like this instead of like this, the reason why I did that, I'm going to tell you why. Because I always tell y'all in the Messiah Code, what's so important about the Messiah Code is this: you must operate from the dot. That means you see things upside down and inside out. You see them right, you see them left, you see them wherever, because you have been put in a pool of reality, and it's not a pool where it's oxygen above you and it's water beneath you. No, it's you're in a pool of reality where it's just nothing but water all around you. I'm just telling you, this is how reality is. You are also blinded as well. Let me give y'all these jewels. Y'all came into reality with the concept of this. This is the real true concept. You're in a pool, you're in some form of pool, and you're also blinded. And you have to know how to navigate or see things or see things in a way that aren't perceived through your eyes, but through a perception that is like it's still feeling as well. All right. So what I'm telling you is you're operating from the dot so you can navigate. If you're operating from the dot, you're navigating from the center. If you're operating from somebody else's dot or something else that is a dot, then it's not your center. That's why I told y'all we cracked the code with that 360 degrees crap. If I ever, if I ever, if I ever, ever, if I ever ask you how many degrees in a circle, everybody should know this answer. Let's go. How many degrees in a circle? Everybody should know how many degrees in a circle. 361. Okay. 361. How many degrees in a circle? $361 in a circle. We operate from the center, the sin, the sun, or what is considered to be the dots or the thoughts, which is the dot in the center of the circle. This is the dot that they forgot about. And that is again 19 times 19, which is supreme math. Once again, supreme grandmother and grandfather math. Everything that flows between a 1 and a 9 number. Everything that flows between a 1 and a 9 number and you times itself equals 361. Back again. This is one of the reasons why, man, that's why you got to read the memorandum. Memorandum is very important. The memorandum tells you everything, yo. It tells you a lot of good stuff in order to grip these lessons. All right. So, let me share some thoughts with y'all as messiahs. And we're gonna see if we're gonna do a pop quiz as well. This is gonna be like a form of a pop quiz. If you just coming in and you just learning the lessons, it is what it is. Thank you. I appreciate it. Hopefully it can give you guidance in your life and you can know how to apply these lessons as well. All right, so pop quiz. So how many weapons does the Messiah have? Pop quiz. How many weapons does the Messiah have? Honesty says Honesty always says 7. How many weapons does the Messiah have? So you said, I think 7. All right, that's cool. Can anyone here, in principle, name the weapons of the Messiah? Because when you come in here as part of the Messiah Code movement, we lace you with 7 weapons. It's like you coming into an army. Because I'm going to tell you, what does Messiah mean? All right, a leader, a savior of a particular group or a cause, but a Messiah is always anointed, right? And why is a Messiah anointed? A Messiah is anointed for the preparation of war. Hear me out. A Messiah is not anointed to look greasy for any particular reason. When women go and get greasy for fights, they get greasy for fights. Y'all hear me out. I know y'all from the hood, seen them get greasy and with Vaseline and whatever like that. They get greasy because they about to fight somebody. All right. So that's the same thing, the same concept of being anointed. Why are you being anointed as messiahs? Y'all need to know this. Like y'all coming in, I'm gonna pretend y'all coming in to the army, right? Let me stand up real quick. Let me see if I can get in here. Because I gotta see if I can flex this. Pardon my if it's loud and looking sounding bumpy. Real quick on you. I'm sorry. All right, we're gonna pretend this is an army, right? We in God's army. All right, y'all in God's army. Hear me out. Now we're gonna do it like this. Listen, when y'all come in this army, I'm not gonna get on some boot sergeant stuff or whatever like that. This is God's army. All right. Listen, you getting information. You say information? Yeah, information. You're getting information. You in God's army, right? So when you getting in formation, y'all can listen up. Listen what I got to say. All right. So y'all gonna be equipped with 7 weapons. I asked y'all. So a couple people knew that y'all got 7 weapons when y'all come into this army. All right. Y'all are anointed messiahs. The reason why y'all are anointed is for the preparation of war. I need y'all to know that. I need y'all to know that we don't want no punks in this Messiah Code movement. If you want to be messiahs, if you signing up to be a messiah, you cannot be a punk. You really got to be brave. All right? You really got to be a braveheart. So hear me out. So now you know, since you're being anointed, you're coming in here, you're being anointed, you're wondering why you're getting greased up and everything like that when you're coming into the Messiah Code movement. You're wondering why you're getting hit up with the shea butter and all that stuff and with the olive oil and you grease all up. You wondering why you coming in like that. I'm telling you, it's for the preparation of war. All right. Now you might say, well, where is the war, Lamel? The war could be in many places at once. I need you to know that. As a young cadet coming in this, I need you to know that the war is in many places at once. All right. And the main war that you will fight will be within. Okay. Now, with this war, we're going to equip you with 7 weapons, 7 objects of choice. All right. Now, these 7 weapons, you can use them at any particular time within your journey of spirituality, all right, or within your war that you will be committing yourself to. You can utilize it at any point in time, these 7 weapons. Now, again, the 7 weapons are what? Somebody tell me. The 7 weapons are very easy. Put it in the comment section if y'all got it. If I'm gonna say it, y'all put it in the comment section so I can just still flow with it. Somebody write it in the comment section. But the if you don't know the 7 weapons of the Messiah, the 7 weapons of the Messiah are this. All right, you got the first era. The first weapon would be basically your rod. All right, that would be your first weapon. You say for real, a weapon, a rod. Now, the rod was this. It was for chastisement. But the rod was also to pull you in line when you got out of line. It was to put you in the right place. All right. That's why the rod has a little hook at the end of it. It has a little hook because that hook represents the question marks of life, but that hook also represents something to grab you by your neck and pull you back in line, or grab you by your waist and pull you back in line because you got out of line. And that's what that rod is all about, the chastisement. You say, for real? This doesn't sound exactly like a weapon, Lamel. I thought you said we going to war. I'm telling you, I'm giving you the weapons to defeat the war that you're going to be in. All right? So write that down. If you never heard these lessons before, or if you heard these lessons before and then you forgot them, this is what we share and this is what we teach as a part of the Messiah Code movement. All right? So the first weapon of choice when you come in, we're going to give you a rod. Like I said, it's going to put you back in place. You're going to be chastised a little bit. All right? Things ain't going to go the way you want it to go all the time. And guess what? You're going to get very frustrated through the rod. When you're given the rod, you're going to get so frustrated. You're going to say, forget the Messiah Code movement. You know what? Forget Lamel, forget you, forget everybody else, forget righteousness. You might say that from being chastised so much in a certain way. I need y'all to stay strong and stand firm. All right, because you'll get the next weapon of choice, and then the next weapon will be a staff. So now you got, since you had the rod, now you got the staff. Boom. Oh man, the staff. Wow. Yeah, you got a staff of people. You got a staff of people that are following you now. See, You don't need the rod to pull you in line. You're utilizing a rod because you got it in your hand to pull others in line, but you have something else, which is a staff, which is the staff of leadership, of guidance. All right. Where you have to be an example to those that follow you. You have to be an example, a leading example. And that's what that staff is all about because your staff is watching you. Your staff is seeing how you hold the scepter of leadership. All right. That's why you have the staff as a Messiah. So now you got two weapons. You're like, man, yo, I got two weapons. I'm ready for the next weapons. All right. The next weapons. Write this stuff down so you'll know if I ever question y'all. If I'm gonna always quiz y'all every video, I'm gonna quiz y'all. So because people might shake y'all and say, well, that Messiah code stuff is some bull crap. And you might say, what? And you might not know how to stand firm on the lessons. But these lessons are in particular to you because remember, we operate from a 360-degree circle and you stand at the center of that circle. All right. So now you got the two weapons, which is the rod and the staff as messiahs. You get another weapon. All right. And the next weapon would be an arrow. You say, for real? I got an arrow. Yeah. Meaning that if you got these people that are following you, if you got all these people that's following, you got the rod to pull people back in place because you was pulled back in place. And then you got the staff because the staff of the people following you, following your example. Well, where the hell they're following you to, Messiah? Where are they following you? That's why you need an arrow. You need an arrow as a weapon as well. The arrow is going to point you in the right direction. You don't know where to go. You don't know where to take these people at that's following you. You pulling them in place for what? For what purpose? You need to show them or give them a direction to follow, a goal, purpose, just like yourself needs one as well. All right. So now you got the arrow. These are weapons, man. Because a lot of y'all thought y'all was going to get the bow before the arrow. Why would you get the bow before the arrow? All right? You get the arrow and then the bow. All right? Because the bow that you received wasn't a bow what you thought. To shoot the arrow, whap. No. The bow was on your neck. It was like in a form of a bow tie. It was on your neck. That's where the bow was. It was where you tied a knot. You agreed. You stuck to your word, your agreement, your word. Your word was your bond. That's why the bow was on your neck and the bow was not placed in your hand. But the bow still represented contemplative thought when you pulled it back. When you pull back the arrow, it still represented a form of contemplative thought. But when you were shooting the arrow, you were shooting it from your throat and you wasn't shooting it from a freaking whatever. Hear me out. Hear me out. So now you know you got four weapons now. You got the what? Somebody put the weapons in there. I just been explaining it to y'all. Somebody put the four weapons that I shared with y'all so far. All right, in the comment section. You got the rod, you got the staff, then you have the arrow, and then you have the bow. All right, y'all with me? So this is like I said, when you come into this Messiah code stuff, this Messiah code movement, or this paradigm of thought, what you know is that again, you are being anointed, and anointment is for the preparation of war. Y'all hear me? Now, since y'all are coming into war and y'all understand, overstand, and solar stand that, since y'all know that, I'm going to give you and lace you up with weapons so you'll be able to fight this war. You need the right weapons, though, as messiahs. So now you got 4 weapons. What's the next weapon that you get? You get the sword. You say, for real? Yeah, you get the sword. You say, wow, I'm ready for a sword, Lamel. I'm ready to chop people up, Lamel. I'm ready for the sword. But the sword that you get is a little sword like this big. You say, yo, man, what's up with this? I thought I was going to get the big sword because I'm ready to slice people up. You said we at war. I'm ready. I thought, man, we get this sword. No, it's not like that. You get a little sword like this big because you want to chop people up and cut them in the wrong places instead of cut them in the right places. I'm serious. You want to utilize them. You want to be a killer instead of a healer. So guess what we're going to give you? We're going to give you a little sword. And that little sword is going to be a scalpel. And you're going to cut people the right way instead of cut people the wrong way. You're going to learn to cut people the right way. That's why you're given the scalpel as a sword. And you was looking for a big sword to chop people up. Because that's all you want to do. I need you to know this. As messiahs, you better watch what you say, man. Man, you can't curse nobody, yo. I'm dead serious. You can't curse nobody because you'll curse yourself. You got to wish people well. And that's so hard. That's the hardest thing to do, wishing people well that don't want to wish you well. I'm dead serious because the people that curse you going to curse themselves. I need you to hear that. As messiahs, I'm going to tell you, yo, listen, you don't have to worry about nothing. You good. All right? Because the people that curse you are actually going to be cursing themselves. You're going to be so protected. They're not going to be able to touch a hair on your head. But the only problem is you can't curse nobody as well because you'll curse yourself. That's the layer of protection that you have as messiahs. And you say, wow, that's deep. That's some real deep stuff. But I'm telling you some real stuff. So like I said, you got the sword, yo. You got the sword. You're at the sword. And the sword that you got was a scalpel. So you can cut people the right way. So you can be a healer and not a killer. All right. And that became your tongue because the scalpel, it the scalpel, it became on your tongue. It became a double-edged sword on your tongue. So you became a counselor where you heal people with your words. You heal people with your counsel, with your with what was needed in their life to say at the moment to bring them into a greater being. And you learn how to separate things. What was ill in their life with your words. And that was your scalpel, your tongue, cutting like a double-edged sword. All right. Then y'all got 5 weapons now as messiahs. All right. So the scalpel or the sword wasn't cutting. It wasn't cutting sharp enough. It wasn't sharp enough because no matter how many conversations or so you had with a person, it still wasn't taking effect in a certain sort of way. So you need something more precise to cut that person in a more uh, precise way. And I'm gonna say this: why this is so relevant to this. What you receive after the scalpel is a laser or Lazarus. You receive Lazarus because the sacred word was the sword. What was after the sword, the sacred word was Lazarus or Lazarus to resurrect your mind, or El Azar, which means God or the universe helps. But Lazarus, you come into lasers or us. Lasers are us. That's what you come into, because Lazarus cuts more better than a sword, more better than a sacred word. Lazarus cuts with the precision of a laser. The lasers are us. I'm going to tell you another reason why you received the laser after the sword, because you originally had 5 weapons, but it moved to 7 weapons. It moved to 7 weapons because you needed the 7 weapons as Messiah. As Messiahs, you know why the lasers came after the sword? Because I'm gonna tell you why. It's the story. It's the story of the reason why on the 16 and the 17 you got this the surgeon and the scientist. Because when the surgeon was performing surgery, like at baptism, we got 2 people that help and perform baptism, and that's another reason why it connects up. When the surgeon was performing surgery, the cancer was still there. No matter how much they cut you, the cancer still remained. Because what you experience in life, you still carry. Like, no matter what you experience, whatever you go through, you still carry it in some form. Even if you don't do or indulge what you indulged in before, guess what? That feeling is still remain. That channel in your brain is still open. So guess what? You need it. You needed your technology to be upgraded so you can be able to deal with it. And that's why you received the lasers. All right. And that's real talk. And that's why I tell y'all, man, like, you can't be judgmental about anybody's spirituality in a sense. You got to figure out what maxims or precepts are universally connected to everyone and what we can move forward on. And that's what you link up with. Otherwise than that, you just move forward. All right. But that poison will still remain with these people. All right. So you need the lasers or to upgrade their technology in order to suppress what they went through, because they always will have it in their mind. All right. So that's the greater laser to cut, or the greater uh um knife, or precisionary device to cut something. All right, which is the lasers or us or Lazarus. And then after that, the next weapon of choice you have is the hammer. Now you might say, well, why I got a hammer as the 7th weapon? Now the hammer puts things in order, puts things to order. In a courtroom, they slam a hammer down, bang. It also represents the thoughts as well, bang, because hits, every time the hammer hits, it represents a new thought that you generate. That's why you got the hammer as the highest point of the weapons. Bang! Every time that hammer, it's a big bang in your head. The big bang in the hammer, and then the hammer chisels everything. It chisels everything that you desire into reality. With that hammer, you can build any device or any object that you like. The best thing about the hammer is that you can rebuild and mend relationships. Think about that. With the hammer, you can rebuild and mend relationships. You can fasten one into a stationary space to be stable. So many things that you can do with this universal tool. So these are the things I share with y'all as part of the Messiah Code movement. And I want y'all to really know what this is all about. If anybody asks you certain lessons, you know how to apply the lessons. Now, you might say you might have to decide when you're using a hammer, when you're using a laser, when you're using the sword, when you are using the rod and the staff, the arrow and the bow. You might got to figure out when in your life, as you're navigating through it, when you're utilizing these weapons. But that's up for you to decide, not me. I gave you the weapons of choice. So you'll be on your guard or on your God as you proceed in the destination of spirituality. All right. Now, yeah. So, yeah, we just let me say this. I love y'all. That was cool. Any questions, let me know. Any questions, let me know before I get off. Hopefully, y'all got something great from this video. Y'all can get a general idea of what we represent. And then I can get more into. Thank you for everybody coming in. Please share the video. Please share the video. I gave y'all the seven weapons, right? I can talk about some other things as well. Certain things that you should know, really. You know what I mean? Like for instance, like what are the primes? You got 5 different primes. Now, I might call you a prime. I'm called, if you notice, my title is Solar Prime Supreme. I am a Solar Prime Supreme. It says Solar Prime Supreme Lazarus Lamel. All right. So you might say, well, what does that mean, Lamel? Solar Prime Supreme. Now, the meaning of I think I broke this down yesterday or the day before, but the reason why we're called primes, it is considered to be the best example of anything, the most best possible example, and that's what I see in each and every one of y'all. I see the potential of choice, the best example. All right, I see the uniqueness within nature to manifest itself as who you are. I see that. All right. And this is how I define purity. And this is my fault, not just me. The 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 tribal members of the Messiah Code movement. This is how we define purity. Yo, what is pure hydrogen, or what is pure helium? What is pure gold? I just want to know. Now, let's say if I had pure helium, right? And I got pure hydrogen. They're variants of two different things. What makes something different than the next? It's whatever it is in its pristine state. So you got pure helium, even though it has a different purpose than hydrogen, you know what I'm saying? It still has its purpose as purity. And I need y'all to say this. Maybe I can utilize a better example. Let's say pure gas. You got such and such gas, super gas. And we're gonna say super gas is the most purest gas you can get. Okay. So then you got the other watered down version of the gas. All right, that's not pure gas. We know we got other things that additives that they put in there. So let's say whatever they add to it, we get that in its pristine purity. Is it not pure? Or if we get pure corn right here, and you mix the corn with freaking apples, all right, is apples better than freaking corn? I don't know. They both have their purpose. Pure apple is a pure apple. A pure corn is a pure corn. I don't like. I want y'all to kind of get with the concept I'm coming with this, because I look at everyone as unique in their pristine purity. You say, well, for real? You mean I can be pure and just be myself if I'm purely myself? Yeah. You can be purely whoever you are. All right? You can be pure and whoever you are. Not who I am, but who you are. You know what I mean? You can uh you can be pure in fulfilling your purpose. I just want to let y'all know that's how I see purity, and various people that are connected with the movement see purity in the same way. All right? Define uniqueness, and I'll define purity, and I see it in you. Okay? So be who you are, but be the best version of yourself. That's what I'm telling you. As part of the movement, be the best version of yourself. Not the best version of myself, be the best version of yourself. All right? And we'll get somewhere. Okay? So that's what it is, man. Also, y'all should keep up with the date. Today's date is 2/12/26. Tomorrow's date will be 2/14/27. Wow. And we definitely gonna break that down. So this is the month of working on self. I need y'all to know that. Y'all got 28 days. Well, 14 days left. Okay. After tomorrow, y'all have 14 days left of working on self. And then next will be the month of contemplation. All right. Three, look, listen, for everybody coming in, what's up? I appreciate it. Listen, in the new age of information, I don't know if y'all caught up or not. I'm gonna give y'all the calendar. I'm gonna share the calendar with y'all so y'all be able to write the calendar down for yourself. All right. Y'all be able to write the calendar down for yourself. All right. You got 14 months in our calendar. See, and this is how you know this calendar is divine. I'm gonna tell you why. Because if you look at the Gregorian calendar, the Gregorian calendar is not divisible by 7, 365 days. Is it evenly divided by 7? No. If creation was done in 7 layers, which you can tell by the stratosphere of thought, and you can also tell by freaking man, man, you can tell in so many ways that how important the number 7 is. All right, not just corresponding with the 7 layers of thought when we talk about um the mind, correspondence, vibration, um um uh, uh vibration, polarity, rhythm, cause and effect, and also gender. Not just talking about that. The 7 is very, very, very important in a certain way because the 7 represent the temple that you build here on this physical plane. All right. Whenever you lost, you go back to the temple. Now you might say, well, where is that temple? The temple is actually when you go on all fours, and then you go on your two hands, and then your head hits the ground. That is your temple. That is your temple here on this planet that you can build. All right. And that's where you go to seek a higher realm of thought. But we have 392 days in our calendar. All right. 392 days in our calendar. So that is 14 times 28, which is 392 days is which is evenly divisible by 7. All right. And that's how the Gregorian calendar should roll. It should be evenly divisible by 7, which it is not. All right. So now, like I said, breaking that down, you got 28 days in each month, which coincides with the moon. You got moon days. Like this is the 13th moon day. This is 2/13/26. So it would be the 13th moon day. And then you got your Sundays, which is the ways of the world. And that's why I showed y'all this. Uh man. That's why I showed y'all this. I showed y'all with the calendar. I showed y'all this. I'm sorry. I showed y'all. Excuse me. Y'all remember when I showed y'all this right here? I said this was the face of the Messiah. See, the reason why I said face, you like people will say, well, this is the face of the Messiah. This is the face of the Messiah. Why would you say face? Man, it is very simple why I said face. I'm going to bug your mind out. Because again, I began this conversation. Let me get something to drink a little bit, y'all. Hold on. I am so parched, or however you want to say it. Yo, for real. Excuse me. All right. Listen, hear me out. The reason why I say face is a reason why I say all this stuff. I don't say it for naught. The face represents the Qibla. It represents the direction. The whole roundabout subject about why I gave you these images represented direction in some form or fashion. But I said face. Face is Qibla. And I also said before that, I said we're in a book of what is considered to be a rectangular prism. Now, the rectangular prism is guarded by certain rules to define the volume of it, like the volume of the books, or the volumes, or the chapters, or the various different books that go with a collection of books, the volume or volumes. All right. So now you got basically length and width. All right, length and width times that you got area. Now when you get in a square, the area is a cube, the area, right, is considered to be the face. Go check this out. In math, like if you deal with a cube, they say the face of the object. All right, and that would be your cube. Now moving forward, the face. Now what you need to do is you need to define um the height of the object. Now the height represents the height of your reality, or the height of your mind. That's what it represents. Now the area represented the designated area of choice that you live in. The challenges that you go through in your area, the designated area that you live in. That's why it's what you face, whatever you face. All right. In your designated area. You get it? You get it? Your area. Now you define the volume by multiplying it by the height. All right. And the height is the height of your mind. Is the height of what you study and the degrees and things that you take your mind to. That's the height of your reality. All right. So now you take the height times the area and you get volume, and you get a volume of a book, which is a three-dimensional prism. All right. That's what a book is. It's a three-dimensional or rectangular prism. Excuse me. It's a rectangular prism. That's what a book is. And that's the same thing that I gave you the rules to define the volume of that rectangular prism, which is a book, which is your life. I gave you the principles to find the volume of it. So the Qibla is your direction. And that's why also, oh man, I don't know if I got this on here, but man, yo, if you look, let me see if I had it. I think I had it. Man, if you see the Qibla If you see the Kaaba looks like a book. Man, the Kaaba of Mecca, it looks like a book. It looks like a book. Everybody bowing, going around the Kaaba for what reason? All right. It's a representation of a book here on this planet. All right. And it symbolically. Symbolically. All right. But what else I want to share with y'all? So it's 392 days in the calendar. Today is 2/13/26. So the last number follows the world calendar. It follows the world number basically. It's whatever number that the world is in. That's why it's within the circle. All right. So it'd be 2/13/26. So the 2 would be in the square, the 13 would be in the triangle, and then the 26 would be in the circle. All right. And thus you have the face of the Messiah, the face, the direction. See, it's all a riddle of what I'm saying. You would consider that to be a riddle or a parable, but I'm telling you the definition of what I'm saying as I'm saying it so you won't be lost or left anywhere. All right? This direction, this face actually represents a tool that is needed to define the volume of your rectangular prism, which is a book. All right? Shout out to everybody that supported, watched this video. I wanted to play something for y'all. I don't know if it's going to play choppy for y'all, but I'm gonna play something for y'all before I get off. It's something real nice. See if I can make it work. Yeah, I really wanted to play something for y'all. I got to get my network together a little bit. I'm having a little bit of issues with my network. I'm gonna tell you that. I'm just having a little bit issues with my network. I'm having a little bit choppy problem. But see if you can kind of hear this a little bit. See if it works. Love y'all. Cool. Salutations to the primes. You gotta earn your wings. You gotta earn your wings. You an angel bud. You gotta earn your wings. You gotta earn your wings. Shout out to the family. Wings. You an angel bud. You gotta earn your wings. You gotta earn your wings. You gotta earn your wings. You an angel bud. You gotta earn your wings. You gotta earn your wings. You gotta earn your wings. You an angel bud. You gotta earn your wings. I think about my son the day he was born. Yeah. I don't know if I should leak that right now. That thing is fire. That song is so fire, y'all. I ain't gonna lie to you. Man. That song is so fire. Me and my queen worked on that song last night. For real. We worked on that song together. It was hot. It's very inspirational when you hear it. It really hits home. Yo. Oh, you teasing. All right, I'll try to play it. It just be choppy, man. My network is stupid. My network is stupid. I love y'all. Cool. I got you though. Hear it out a little bit. Salutations to the primes. You gotta earn your wings. You gotta earn your wings. You an angel bud. You gotta earn your wings. You gotta earn your wings. You gotta earn your wings. You an angel bud. You gotta earn your wings. You gotta earn your wings. You gotta earn your wings. You an angel bud. You gotta earn your wings. You gotta earn your wings.
think about my son the day he was born. It was a blessing. All the challenges in life, I wish I could warn him. All the torture, all the pain, all the games, all the rain. How I brought him in this world that I wish I can change. Forget the fame, forget the fortune. I know it's important. If I do something great, my name's immortal. My queen carry you for 9 months, but your wings carry you forever. You a diamond in the rough. If you can stand the pressure, keep the family together through the storms and the weather. You the reason in this world.
Oh man, I ain't gonna do it to y'all, man. That thing is fire, yo. That thing is fire. That thing is so fire. I ain't gonna do it to y'all because this is playing choppy. It's really messing me. It's pissing me off. It's pissing me off, yeah. It's one of the moments. But it should be. I published the song already. It should be ready on Spotify by tomorrow. Either that by tomorrow or Tuesday. It should be ready on Spotify. You can listen to it. It's called Earn Your Wings. It's called Angels Earn Your Wings. That's what it's called. It's a real hot song, yo. Like that song, man, man, that song was crazy. That had us up here crying. It had all of us in here crying. That song, when I spit the lyrics, when I spit that song, when I was writing that song, I didn't shed so many tears writing that song, yo. I ain't gonna lie to you. I shed tears of joy. Like, damn, we getting on a personal note before I get off. I'm gonna play it for y'all, see if I can play it on, man, I'm gonna play it in a different way. I'm gonna play it on my phone and just play it on the microphone so y'all can hear it. It's just weird. But I wanted to just tell y'all a little feeling when I was writing this song, yo. This song is called Earn Your Wings, right? And I'm thinking, like, when I was thinking of the beat, man, I was thinking about my son. I just had a son last Thursday, right? I'm thinking like, man, I got other children, man. I got other children that, that are grown men. And, I think about from now to then, I'm like, man, wow. And you just wish you can just do so many things better, you know? You just wish you can just do so many things better when you look at the older ones. You wish all the left turns, the right turns would have went right in some form of fashion, you know? But however it is, you do your best. And just was thinking about, you know, our children, they're going to be whoever they want to be regardless, We want them to be, they're angels, Listen, hear me out. We look at them as angels. Yeah, you're angels. You got to earn your wings. Yeah, you're an angel. Like, because the child in your sight, it's the most beautifulest thing. When you look at your child, you like, man, you think about it. It's somebody child that is a murderer right now. Somebody child that is a killer. It's somebody child that is a whatever, yo. Y'all hear me? It's somebody child that's one of them type of people, yo. It's somebody that's not just somebody's child that's just not beautiful. They came out all looking beautiful in some form, some way. You know what I mean? But they got a destiny to choose of their own. So that's what I was thinking about when I was writing the song. I'm gonna see if I can play this for y'all. I got you. But that's what I was thinking about when I was writing the song. I was thinking about, man, damn, my son, like, what type of future, man? Look at the world, man. Look where the world is going right now, and how everything, you know. Hold on. Hello. What's up, bro? Okay. All right, I'm here. All right, thank you. All right. All right, I want to show you. I'm see if I can do this, but I'm gonna, I gotta email myself this joint real quick, and then I'm gonna play it on my phone. But like I said, I just was thinking about the world, man. The world is a crazy place, man. If you notice, it's all about. You can't really say nothing about the medical field. You can't if you're doing all your stuff, your lives and stuff like that. You really can't talk about the medical field. They suppress your channel in some way. All right, because it's an agenda going on. With COVID and all of this stuff, it's a big agenda. It's an underlying agenda that they're sweeping underneath the rug. All right. So I'm saying, damn, I'm bringing my son into a world where we know what's going on, but nobody can stop it. Nobody can really stop it. It's like, y'all hear what I'm saying? Y'all act like y'all brave, but people ain't really brave like that. All right. So serious. But man, they're doing something. What they're doing, they know what they're doing. They really know what they're doing. All right, and they pushing like a big boulder forward, and you can't help but to get ran over or get out the way. Somebody hear me? All right. So I'm saying, damn, I'm bringing my son into this type of stuff, man. I'd have brought my children into this world. Yo, you ever think about? I'm gonna ask y'all a question real quick, not to get too deep. Y'all ever think about um as much as life that y'all brought into this world, as much death y'all brought into this world as well? Y'all think about how many children y'all have. Y'all say, man, I got this many children. But however many children is how much death you brought in the world as well. How much life you brought in the world. Y'all hear me? Word. So you gotta think about it too, to be responsible. Be responsible with your life force. It's important to guide the children in the right way. They represent our hope. Y'all know what I'm saying? Not to get long drawn out on the deep end, but I really did. I really did. So yeah, this song is really reflecting that. It's reflecting so much. When somebody come in your life, when you come in somebody else's life, you gotta earn your wings in some form of fashion as well. Hopefully y'all can hear it. Yeah.
Salutations to the primes.
Hey, yo, that's hot.
You gotta earn your wings. You gotta earn your wings. You an angel bud. You gotta earn your wings. You gotta earn your wings. You gotta earn your wings. You an angel
Yeah,
bud.
that's fire.
You gotta earn your wings. You gotta earn your wings. You gotta earn your wings. You an angel bud. You gotta earn your wings. You gotta earn your wings. You gotta earn your wings. You an angel bud. You gotta earn your wings.
I think about my son the day he was born. All the challenges in life, I wish I could warn him. All the torture, all the pain, all the games, all the rain. How I brought him in this world that I wish I could change. Forget the fame, forget the fortune. I know it's important. If I do something great, my name's immortal. My queen carry you for 9 months, but your wings carry you forever. You a diamond in the rough. If you can stand the pressure, keep the family together through the storms and the weather. You the reason in this world that I found my treasure. You the reason that I right my wrong. You the reason that I cry when I write this song. I hold you tight in my arms, and I think of your future. If I had $1 million, I would have gave it to you sooner. But now I give you the world, my jewels and diamonds and pearls, my wisdom, my vision, and it's life that I lived in.
You gotta earn your wings. You gotta earn your wings. You an angel.
Shout out to the family. I love y'all.
You gotta earn your wings. You gotta earn your wings. You an angel bud. You gotta earn your wings. You gotta earn your wings.
Thumbs up the video. Thumb up the video.
You gotta earn your wings. You gotta earn your wings. You gotta earn your wings. You an angel bud. You gotta earn your wings.
The teachings or the teacher? The teacher, my brother's keeper. My mother was with a man that used to beat her. I used to see the world from another perspective. My life is a testament. I am a specimen, releasing the pain that was kept within. They try to separate me and my family. Stay together. With vanities, calamities, tragedies, and so much war. What we live life for. What we live it for. Will you make it to heaven if you lived it before? If you lived it on earth, don't give your children a worse. Don't give your children a curse. Don't give your children what hurts. Don't give your children to the church, the mosques, or the synagogues. Just take them to the mirror and tell them they've been a god. They've been a goddess. They've been the highest, melanated, celebrated, well-awaited messiahs.
You gotta earn your wings. You gotta earn your wings.
Earn it.
You an angel bud. You gotta earn your wings.
Come on.
You gotta earn your wings. You gotta earn your wings. You an angel bud. You gotta earn your wings.
Yeah.
You gotta earn your wings.
Shout out to the family. I love y'all.
You an angel bud.
I had to leak this track real quick.
You gotta earn your wings. You gotta earn your wings. You an angel bud. You gotta earn your wings.
Shout out. Yeah, man. That joint is powerful. That song's powerful, man. Like, yo. Like, I hear crickets after that. Like, freak. Yo, it just got so quiet in here. I love y'all, man. This was a good broadcast. A very great broadcast. All right. Make sure you learn your lessons. You study your lessons of the Messiah Code. All right. Comb, salutations to the prime. All right. Peace to the family. Hold your head up.